All right, so here's the deal for today. I'm gonna be doing a tutorial. I'm gonna step through the levels of this game. I'm gonna try and show alternate routes or strats where it's relevant. Chat will appear on screen above me. So if you were to do something like, be like, "Hey streamer," yeah, there you go. No, T-shirt beat me to it. I was about to just type in something terrible, but saved me the trouble. So that's the idea. The idea is I want this video to be a YouTube resource, but making YouTube videos is stressful. So I'm just going to do a Twitch broadcast and upload it. Yeah, what's up, YouTube? How's it going? But let's go ahead and get started with this. I think we're all good to go. Let me just make sure audio levels are good. Yeah, I think audio levels are pretty good. So let's get going. In terms of setup, before we get into the game proper, if you're really trying to learn this game, first thing we gotta do is go into options. This tutorial, we're not gonna cover configuring the game, because there certainly are some issues with configuring the game. If you just bought this game off of Steam or GOG, I recommend using DG Voodoo 2 to run the game on Windows 10. And that's my way to go with it. So, if people want more information on that, God bless you. I can help you with that. But, running old PC games on Windows 10 is always going to be finicky. So the thing that we need to go look at is the keyboard setup, because the default keys for this game are wild. I don't remember what they are, but they're completely nonsense. So obviously change the ones that you would expect to change. If you're using WASD, set those right, forward, backward, step left, step right. And if you're using ESDF, you would set that accordingly. The ones that are specific and important to this game does have a 180 turn. I don't use it currently. I think Skiller might have in one or two places. There's a few times where it could be useful, it could be funny. It's not necessary for the run. This to me is the most important binding. This is the space on double jump. Space for most people I think is your typical jump button. I use space. Wait a second. I need to fix something. There you go. To use. Oh yeah. So there are some other things as well. Yeah. So I think by default left mouse is not firing, but in order to edit the mouse controls, there's a config file in the base directory of the game that you can edit. If you're looking for some other technical solutions as well, for example, if you have mouse flickering issues or frame rate issues, there are some good GOG.com forum threads. If you search for those, you should be able to find them. Anyway, again, for the bindings that are important here, the space on double jump I think is probably the most important one. I also really like vehicle mode on Q. Transforming in vehicle mode is something that we'll do a lot in this run. So you want to have it somewhere that you can use it pretty quickly. You could also do E, something like that. Q, I happened to run this game not too long after running Vice City, so Q was a button I was using a lot in Vice City. But I think that's about. I mean, also make sure you know what your always run button is assigned to. This will come up for one trick. Currently, by default, it's caps lock. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, but I would say those are the important things. Double jump, transform are kind of the big things. And other than that, make sure that whatever your preferences are for a first-person shooter. Remember, this is a 1998 video game, so the standards are still getting made at this point. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. So we do this game on easy. The differences between the difficulty modes, generally speaking, are just scaling. It's just, enemies do more damage. And I think they have more health. I've never actually looked into it because, again, it's not interesting. So generally all speedruns are done in easy because that's faster. And let's go and get into it. There's two things. There's a cutscene to skip there. Then there's this prompt. And you want to just usually enter through those twice. I mean, I usually use escape to skip both of them, but you don't want to mash escape because you'll enter a menu like this. You don't want to do that. This first part here in this canyon is timed, so there's not too much to do. The only really important thing is to grab this laser cannon. This guy will always have a laser cannon. Yeah, no, T-shirt, I've heard that madness is very, very difficult. in this game, like many first-person shooters, you have weapons that are both projectile weapons as well as weapons that are hit scan weapons, and a lot of the AI in this game will just hit scan you around the corner, so that's pretty unfortunate. One of the reasons we really want this laser cannon is that the laser cannon does damage to enemies without creating an explosion hurt box, and the explosion hurt boxes in this game stick around way longer than you think they will. And sort of avoiding damage to ourselves is important. Even on easy, you can die quite quickly in this game. But yeah, at this point, besides getting the laser cannon, there's not really too much here. This is timed. We're just waiting for this to drop.
Roger, fire for effect. Over.
These boys will disappear. Slurp.
All right, Recon 4, dust off in 30.
Don't leave without us.
All right, so we go into the next portion, which is our quarters on our spaceship above the planet.
Commander, make sure to
You get 2 dialogue lines, one from your girlfriend, one from your girlfriend's dad, who's also your boss.
Yes, sir.
Pick up the ID and then leave. This is mostly just running to where we need to go. There isn't really a difference between knife or pistols, so I like to pull out the knife just for funsies, but get over there. You want to jump, anticipate that jump so you don't lose any momentum, or not momentum, but you just don't get interrupted or slowed down by the guardrail. Also, when you have the knife out, you get to see the super cool knife idle animation, which is just my favorite. So a note about Shogo Shogo activation triggers. If you hit T is default to open up the chat in the game, and say MP triggers, it shows you what the trigger boxes look like. And I'm bringing this up because you don't need to look at this thing. You don't need to like press against it. You just need to walk through here. Like that's all you have to do. You don't have to look at it. So when you spawn over here, you just need to glide past it. You don't need to do anything to it. You just keep going.
I think we better play it safe and reboot climate control.
So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, but that was just a point I wanted to make if you're wondering about how you interact with triggers in this game. So here we make our way, you follow a path, because we want to activate this cutscene as soon as possible. This is a long cutscene.
I'll get to the point.
But this long cutscene is actually a good opportunity for me to explain one of this game's bugs. There's every cutscene in this game, you can pause, enter the menu, unpause, and you gain control of your character in a few ways. You can rotate your character. If you were in a mech mode, you could transform. And you can also shoot. I'm not going to do that because
yes, sir. I understand.
He could attack me, and I didn't make a quick save before doing this. But you also saw that I could switch weapons, and so transforming and switching weapons are the 2 major uses for this cutscene control glitch.
You're dismissed.
There'll be a few times in the game where I will pause and unpause to transform and change weapons. There's also 2 cutscenes where if just by mashing into the cutscene, you'll gain control.
Into regional diagnostics. I was hoping you'd be a little more responsible about this mission.
So one note there, you might have heard him talk about regional diagnostics, and regional diagnostics is a thing in the previous level where you can go to an optional part and listen to deep lore about the game. And you might wonder, hey, BMC Trilogy, if you went to that thing, would he skip that line and you would, maybe save time? The answer is no, because if you do go to regional diagnostics, he just says a different dialogue line at the end of that conversation, so there's no reason to do that. Here you have an option of 4 MCAs, the mechs. We always go for the closest one. That also happens to be the fastest one, so it works out for us. And you just come back around, you can fall in here, and then it starts another cutscene.
Commander. I would hate to have to resort to more drastic measures to eliminate the fallen. Entourage you out.
So unfortunately, the first 5 minutes of the game is kind of slow, but don't worry, it picks up.
transport will drop you off near the southwest entrance to Avernus. According to our intelligence, it's the least
The intro to the next level will be an example of a cutscene that you can mash into and gain control during the cutscene, like I showed in that previous Akuraju cutscene.
You won't even have time to miss me. Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted, Commander. You're in for one hell of a ride.
All right, so here again, we're gonna press a key. We're gonna.
LZ
Yeah, so now you can see I have control again. So I want to do two things. The first thing I want to do is switch to my laser cannon, and then the other thing I'm going to do is transform. Normally you would be responsible and you make sure you're facing the right direction. I'm facing the wrong direction.
We got enemy contact.
But you get the idea there. We use that cutscene control. Yeah, thank you, Archie. We use the cutscene control there to both switch weapons to the laser cannon and also transform, so we don't have to do that once it ends. Hop over there to avoid that guy coming up the ramp. Up here, there's a guy that you can do two things with. You can either try and shoot him as he's appearing, like as he's coming around the corner, and stun him and then just drive past him. But usually, I can't make that shot. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm gonna be highlighting and exporting this to YouTube. So that's definitely what I'm. This is going straight on the YouTube. That's one of the reasons I have chat on screen, which is not something I usually do, but I want to make sure that people have it. Anyway, so you drop down here. That door doesn't exist. Don't mash jump right after the door, because if you mash jump right after that door, the game will freak out. So you want to wait a little bit and then jump. Shoot that guy. That guy has a juggernaut, so this is like a sort of flat cannon style weapon. If you see me shoot here, you can see it just has like a little explosion cluster. We don't really want to use that like that. We want to... we typically want to stay on a laser cannon. You have to be to the... What? Yeah, oh yeah, to pass through this door? Yeah, you have to be in that bottom corner to pass through this door. Yes. So you pass through that door, come through here, and now this next area is our first example of a Samantha cutscene skip. I'm going to bring up MP triggers again. You can see there's a big, nice juicy cutscene here. I'm going to make a quick save. So if I enter it into this, it plays the first Samantha cutscene. But we don't want to do that. What we want to do is activate walk mode, which again by default is caps lock. And then we're going to walk up to this wall. And once you start sliding past it, just hold down W. Stop hitting, don't hit A if you're on WASD. And then hit space once to jump up onto the ledge. Release the walk mode, so hit caps lock again if that's default. And then jump again to get up onto this ledge, and then again, and then back into vehicle mode. And so that way you've skipped the first Samantha cutscene.
Actually, I'm ignoring them.
That cutscene isn't too long, so you want to be trying to get that cutscene skipped quickly, in order to actually save time. I know when I was learning it, I had a lot of issues with activating that cutscene around that corner. So here we're just making our way towards the next objective.
Here they come.
This is stuff that's mostly just explained by, you the watcher watching me doing this, just kind of staying in vehicle mode. There is a button B for looking at yourself in third person. There's nothing really useful about it. Most of these enemies aren't really going to hit you. They have pretty bad aim. This guy up here is important. First off, he's in our way, so we have to kill him. And then he also is the first guy who has bullgut ammo. So the bullgut ammo is useful. We want to make sure that we stockpile that for the duration of the run.
I'm going in.
All right, so that's that. Those three guys there that I just jumped past, typically the only one to really worry about is the third one in the back, because he has the juggernaut. The other two are firing very slow projectiles that it's fairly easy to avoid. Sometimes I will do the exit here to transform.
You should be able to track Gabriel down there.
Mind if I do a little window shopping first?
Very funny.
You got company coming.
But we're gonna have another great example of a portion of a level skip upcoming here in this level.
Would that be?
Jump over here. So around here there's enemies with pulse rifles. I usually jump near enemies with pulse rifles because I want to avoid the explosion hitboxes. You want to jump onto this ledge and then up again. You may ask, well, why go through all this trouble? And I'm going to show you using MP triggers. So you can see here, that there's this big green wall, and what that big green wall is a. I'll show you because I actually haven't watched it in a while myself. So that closes this door back here. Well, now you can't see it because of the trigger. Well, let me do it again, and now you can actually see it. So, ready? So this closes that door right here. This door. Yep. Yep. And then the cutscene that I just entered is the cutscene that's in that doorway. But by doing the series of jumps that I do and getting up here, we're able to get around that door close trigger. And instead, the cutscene looks like this.
They've shut the blast doors. I'll have to find
the blast door doesn't close, and we can just proceed to the next area.
It'll lead you to a substation where you can override the security failsafes.
Also, pick up the bullgut ammo. Bullgut ammo, very important. And now we just have some easy driving to get through to the next cutscene.
Ever hear of Uziel? That's Gabriel's right-hand man. The bastard's close by, so be careful.
Sandro, what's going on?
Catherine?
You see there I turned around, and the reason I turned around was because
What the?
I know that coming out of this cutscene, I'm going to be going the opposite direction. There's a few times. You might have noticed that I did it with the Admiral Akraju cutscene in the beginning of the game. This is another one where we do that.
Them fallen bastards are jamming your comm signal. You gotta shut down their interference array. Go back out the way you came in, but watch out for fallen reinforcements.
I'm too close. I gotta find another way in.
Bad idea. If they know you're coming, you're as good as dead.
Alright, so upcoming here, there's going to be, I'm going to try and show off two methods. One of them is the one I usually use. One of them is one that you can use if you're really hurting for health.
The access to the ventilation
So,
shaft is to your left. I'll see if I can find it.
Alright, so first method, just drive straight, hop over here, and then jump up to here. I'm going to show you why you hop there in a second. And then there you go. And then so the end trigger is right there at this wall, right here. But yeah, so this hasn't been used in runs yet, is what I'm about to show you. So first off, the reason why we jump here is because there is a cutscene activation right here. If I went into this, we would have a Samantha cutscene.
You again?
But we don't like Samantha in this video game. We don't deal with her. So we always just, again, jump over her. Oh. Duh. Yeah, y'all ever screw up the jump? Okay. Oh, that's an important note, actually. Don't land on cars. Cars will explode you in this game. So anyway, what you would do is you'd come over here. There are more cars here. So you can see there's these blue things are your armor. These guys, these batteries, are your energy. So you can come over here, blow up the cars, and grab some health if you need it. And then in order to get up, you would jump up onto... Oh, geez, that's a spider. As you can see, I'm not practiced in this. I'm just showing you that it is possible. I recommend doing the other method, but we are... I think it's Skiller who's experimenting with this one. What is the jump? Is it... Oh, can you blow that sign up? Yeah, with vehicle, it's harder. Okay. Yeah, so is it you just jump here and then jump up to here and then over there? I forget where the first place was. Yeah, well, look, I don't like this one. I'm just trying to be complete in this tutorial. All right. Oh, you have to jump on the sign. Well, there you go, folks. The answer is do the fast thing. So there's the trigger.
This looks like the place.
It's right along that middle of that wall there. And then we're on to the next level. This is another level where we can gain control by mashing press a key. We want to... I typically go for laser here. You can go for Juggernaut.
You have to reverse the airflow in shaft B, so you can ride the wind.
And then we can also, again, transform during the cutscene because we've gained control.
You jump into it now, and them fans will chew you up good.
I hope you know what you're talking about.
You doubting me, boy?
So I'm going to show two methods to get through this level. Let's make it quick save here. Get up here, open that door. There's a man all the way in the opposite end. So this is actually helpful right now because I can almost do this legit without having to use sheets. It is a little hard to get through the bends in the hallway, so you can jump through them with the car in vehicle mode. So in order to proceed through this level, we have to activate, no matter what we do, we have to activate the fans. And so we have to come into this airflow control room, kill everyone. One of the things you're going to be looking for with these enemies is you're hoping to get crits. If you have over 900 health, you can do a strat that is slightly faster. So I legit have over 900 health, and I want to emphasize its energy. It doesn't matter what your armor is. Armor is irrelevant to this. You gotta have over 900 energy. So I have over 900 energy, and I'm gonna go back the way I came instead of continuing. If you're doing this strat, you want to get that extra bullgut ammo. And so there is a shaft coming up here that's going to deal 900 damage to you when you go into it. You get a cutscene. Hank is like, don't do this thing. It's not worth it, buddy.
That would be bad.
But we're going to do it. And we're going to take 900 points of damage. There's health right there, which is you always want to grab that. And then you want to come back up. And there's another guy here. This is, again, another reason we want to use the laser. Because there's also a guy behind you. So I'm going to do this again, just so I can show you get all the way to the end.
That would be bad.
So again, you're going to take 900 damage. Try and kill that guy without... Yeah, so I got lucky there. I got a crit. That guy exploded on himself, which is, you know, part of a risk here. There is a guy behind you trying to shoot explosives, and I usually don't get murdered by him, but because this is a tutorial that I'm putting on YouTube,
that would be bad.
It's going to keep happening.
This better work.
So the answer is you should quick save more often. This is the part of the tutorial where I show the importance of quick saving frequently instead of trying to show off everything in one go. Alright, so quick save again. I'm just going to restart the level then. Alright, so again, we can walk to the end of the level. And the end of the level is right over here. So I'm going to restart. This game does have a useful feature. Not only does it have quick save, quick load, but it also allows you, it has a special extra quick save slot that is specific to the level that you're in. So you can hit this, you can go to load game, you can say restart. And this is legitimate because this is a quick save slot that it makes as you're playing the game. So it's not like this is, you know, some other set of ammo and health. This is the set of ammo and health that we started this level with. So it's very, very useful in that respect.
I hope you know what you're talking about.
So now instead of doing the secret strats, if you have over 900 health, we're going to do the normal strat, which starts off the same. Yeah, usually these longer bends you can get through with 2 jumps. Yeah, oh no, I don't have over 900. Yeah, usually you want like 950. It can get a little spicy if you have less than that. So yeah, that guy hits you, that guy hits me too, you know, blah, 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 blah. I have low health, but I'm still on like a good run, so I don't want to just reset. So now we're going to continue the sort of the intended method. Come around here, shoot the guy at the opposite end. There are bends that are just corners, you can just hop through them. And then instead of going, the game wants you to go to this elevator and go down, but we can just shoot this from up here. And that shuts down the heating coil. So the thing that was doing 900 damage to us no longer is in effect. And we're now able to proceed.
There's a platform near the base of the shaft that'll lead you into shaft B.
Great.
Thankfully, we don't have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. There is another entrance to this shaft that is right here. So this will take us up to that same shaft that you saw. We're going to come in basically from the other end of the room. So just fall off. And grab the health, of course.
Of course it worked. I told you it would, didn't I?
And then proceed out. Usually there I stay in mech mode instead of vehicle mode, and then hop through there and enjoy a cutscene. So as you can see there's the two methods. The first method is slightly faster, but of course it has some risk because you'll be at low health once you fall through the shaft. And then you have to be over 900 to begin with, which you're not always going to be. All right, so that's the end of the first big mech section, and now on to the first on foot section.
All right, I'm in.
So here, there's a few important items that you can grab. Usually I'll grab an assault rifle. There's also an assault rifle in here, so you can grab it from one of two places. You definitely want an assault rifle. And there's also some, if you're having trouble surviving, there is some armor here as well. You can pick those up. First thing, kill one of your allies. Killing your ally is very important because it skips a cutscene 2 levels from now. But other than that, we're just going to be running and gunning. So enemies in Shogo can murder you very quickly if they crit you. Crits are something that both the player does to enemies and the enemies does to the player. So you want to hope for crits because crits do replenish health besides doing bonus damage. One thing you might note is that after using the assault rifle for the initial bit, I switched over to machine pistol. The differences between machine pistol and assault rifle come down to a lot of accuracy. Of course, the assault rifle, much more accurate. I kind of like the machine pistol just for the spread because I find it often will get enemies around corners quickly because it just sort of has an erratic spread. It's better at close range for sure. But as you can see, we're mostly just running and gunning. This is pretty traditional 90s speedrun FPS gameplay. But now when you enter this level, you want to have your assault rifle out because we do need the accuracy of the assault rifle for a segment right here. In order to get through this door, we have to shoot that control on the wall. You don't want to be trying to do that with a different weapon. I ignore this first guy on my left. So again, I'm going to restart the level just so I can show what I'm talking about.
I got the sissies on the run. Find the
Generally speaking, if there are enemies I can get away with ignoring, I will.
Security, I got a
So again,
situation down
shoot
here.
that.
Better believe it.
There's a guy here on the left. Just ignore him. He's facing the other way.
I'm out of here. Watch your butt.
But yeah, this is mostly run and gun. A nice thing about this game is that generally when you hit an enemy, they get stun locked, and so they can't be shooting while they're in that bleeding state. Ignore this guy. He doesn't matter. He just runs away. So that guy right there is the first guy in the game who has a rocket launcher. Rocket launcher enemies, very dangerous because rocket launchers hurt a lot, especially on foot. They will absolutely kill you. So you want to be on top of them. When you pick up a weapon you don't have, it automatically switches. So that's often a great opportunity to move over. Actually, this is a good opportunity to explain something about Shogo. Shogo doesn't have a reload button. So you're firing your machine pistol and you don't know. You have no indication when your 22 bullets are up. You just don't know unless you're counting bullets, in which case if you can count bullets and play this game fast at the same time, you're probably better than me. So one of the things that you can do to reload is switch weapons. So if you switch weapons and then switch back, now the weapon is filled up. So when you have opportunities between groups of enemies in this game, you want to reload. In this room, I often use a rocket to try and take out 2 enemies up there. Sounds like I got them? No, I didn't get them, so I missed that guy. And then jump across there. Those jumps can trip you up once in a while. I screw them up from time to time.
All right, what now?
But
Okay, look for
the rocket launcher, I'm not 100% to get that rocket launcher, but I like it just because it reduces risk and it looks nice. So now we're gonna have some more running and gunning. This behind this door is a rocket launcher guy. I would almost pre-fire this door because you want to hit that guy's feet so that he doesn't rocket launcher you. Through this door, stick to the ledge because this will allow us having to go all the way around. You just lean out a little bit and then jump over, and you can curl over and avoid having to come all the way around.
Reestablishing line now.
Hello, Sanjuro.
And then we get a nice long cutscene.
Who is this? This is a secure line. How did...
It's good to hear your voice again.
Kura?
Good guess.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, so it turns out
I
that
need to talk with you face to
our
face.
dead
It's
girlfriend
about Toshiro
is not
and
dead,
Raku.
I don't
but
understand.
we're dating her sister,
Head
so
out for Maritropa. I'll
things
contact you
might
there.
get awkward and
We're out.
complicated.
Sanjuro, what the hell happened? Are you okay?
Kura's alive.
I see.
Fall back to LZ Minotaur for immediate extraction, Commander. I'm aborting the mission. It's time to settle matters once and for all.
But, sir, Kura's alive.
Of course she is. Where do you think
So
our
coming
intelligence
up
has
in
been
this
coming
next
from?
part, I'm going to show
and you didn't tell
2
me?
routes to
Kura
get
is a
to
soldier,
the end
Commander.
of this
She
level.
does what she's
One of
told.
them
You
is
do
safer
well to
than the
follow her
other,
example.
but marginally
Requesting
slower.
permission to proceed to Maritropa, Admiral.
Permission denied. I will not
If you're
stand for insubordination. You
being
have
annoyed
your
by
orders.
on-foot combat,
Roger,
taking the
out.
slower route is fine.
sir.
I think the segmented run on SDA takes the slower but safer route,
Gotta get out of there
which is
pronto.
funny because it's a
Reinforcements
segmented
are
run,
pouring
but
into the
that's
place.
fine.
They got the lobby secured,
I'm not
so
gonna
you better
judge.
head for the service tunnel access over by the interference array. It'll be a hell of a lot safer.
So cutscene ends after Hank's line. One of these guys out here is a shotgun enemy. Shotgun enemies are particularly dangerous at close range in this game because they will 100% hit scan the snot out of you. So I'm gonna take the safe route first. Safe route is mostly backtracking. Call down the elevator. What's good about the safe route is that the game doesn't expect you to go this way, so there are no enemies present. We just mostly get to walk all the way to our destination, and then finally here is a group of enemies. What's good about this is that the way these enemies are arranged, it's very easy for us to fight them.
I found the service tunnel
And so
access.
then we go through here. Hey, if you're watching this and you're
Talk
a
about it
tech
later.
finder,
Be careful, Sanjuro.
the exit zone beneath this thing here is active, even when this is closed. So if you want to find a way to clip through there, that'd be great. Okay, so what's the alternate path then? The alternate path is if we go all the way back. I quick saved out of habit, which tells you where my brain is. So if we go back to where we were before. So, right, we come out of this door after the cutscene. Instead of going to the right, we're going to go to the left here. There's 4 enemies here. Usually I shoot the non-power enemies first because they will die pretty quickly. There's 1 enemy in here. 1 enemy past this door. And then the last room here has a bunch of enemies. But what's particularly concerning about this is that these 2 small guys here have
I found the service tunnel access.
shotguns. So they're very dangerous. One of them put me down to like 5 health.
We'll talk about it later.
One thing to note there is that you might have noticed there that Sanjuro does not take damage during cutscenes. And so if that last power armor enemy is far away, you can just run to the door and the door will close behind you and you don't actually have to fight that enemy. Of course that's risky because he can do damage to you as you're moving towards the door, but you can roll with it. Anyway, I have like 5 health, which is going to make the rest of this tutorial hilarious. So now go to the next level. Normally there's a cutscene here where one of our allies asks us for help, but since we shot our allies, they don't ask us for help, and we skip that cutscene. Now down here, you drop down, and there's going to be a set of 3 enemies here. There's going to be a rocket launcher guy around the corner. So that's, pretty risky. And they're going to drop down again. Ideally, you want to hit this first before dropping all the way down. I like to use the machine pistol up here and then switch to the assault rifle down here because you're going to have some enemies that are further away. So there's 2 enemies here. And there's going to be power armor and 2 enemies kind of further back over here. And take care of them. When you're on water, if you look sort of up at a 45-degree angle and tap spacebar, you pretty much get to walk on water.
Reeks in here. What are they serving in the cafeteria?
Yeah, I can, Skiller. I can. Like, I mean, sure, there's more cheats in this game. You can look up the cheats in this game. There's a bunch of different ones for refilling your health if you want. Like, you know, MPKFA, whatever.
The bastard's got your MCA. You can't go back there now.
Great. What now?
Meet me in the garage. I got an idea.
So now this ladder is a little finicky. Usually you want to go up on the right side of it to actually get up, because sometimes you'll get stuck like this. Like I'm holding W right now and I'm not going anywhere. So usually if you go on the right side, it's fine. You want to shoot this guy and then come across here. Yeah, so there's an example of that killing. All right, so now I'm actually going to refill my health. Of course, this is not a valid speed run, but so hit that guy. Then you can usually hit this tank. You just want to hit the tank with your normal assault rifle. You can even ignore those last two guys because you just need this to come in and for the dialogue line to finish, and then you'll be through the level.
We gotta get inside this place and get you a new MCA. There should be only a couple of guards on duty. Cover me while I override the security system.
All right, so this is our last on foot level for this segment of this bunch. An important thing to note about Shogo is that your health only refills when you switch from being mech to on foot or on foot to mech. Otherwise, the amount of health persists from level to level. Jump onto this, 2 enemies around here. And then you have to wait for Hank to hit a button to open this door. This is definitely a door. There's a guy right behind this door down some stairs. As soon as the thing moves, you want to try and shoot his feet because he will shoot you. This is a dangerous point right here. There is a guard right through this little window, and there's 2 guards over here that will drop health. But if you're low on health, there's definitely a risk of dying here. So, oh yeah, there you go. But these 2 guys always drop health packs. And then come around here. Usually, so now I'm going to switch over to assault rifle. There are 2 power armors down here. One of them has a rocket launcher, so be careful with that. So you have to hit a switch in this room in order to open this door. And what we do is we just break open the glass, hop up, and again, for the same reasons I explained before, all you need to do is just hop up here, and it activates the door. So easy peasy. Right, so with quick saving, you always want to quick save, you know, naturally in places where you're not going to put yourself at risk of death. You know, you don't want to be quick saving as you're running into a room so you get shot, and that would be quite unfortunate. Shotgun guy to the right here, very dangerous. And as I mentioned before, we now have a choice of 4 MCAs, but we always want the fast one, which is the one here on the right.
For MEV Dock 17 in the Shannara district, you can catch a train to Crescent Square Station, which is right around the corner from a nightclub called the Mecca. I'll meet you there.
What about Gabriel?
This is about Gabriel. Hurry!
I'm on my way.
Some guys I know are gonna help you get past the CMC. Security's pretty tight with the martial order and all, so it ain't gonna be easy. All you gotta do is get to the Shannara district.
What's nice about this is that we're gonna have a really short mech level to break up some of these on foot sections. So this is usually one of the ones where I take since the weapon switch animation is really long, I do the quick pause on pause. Switch over to Juggernaut, that's a default 7, and then transform.
I don't think so. If Kuro's alive, then there's a good chance Baku and Toshiro are too. I've got to find out.
Say hello to Maurice and Toshi, Commander. Greetings, Commander.
Let's give him hell.
So this cutscene up here, there's a cutscene that's a little bugged. What we do to avoid the bug is we kill that guy. Killing that guy prevents the cutscene from looping, and then we shoot the ground right in front of that green thing, and that opens up the ground, and then we activate this cutscene where the door closes, but it doesn't matter. In an older route, we would try and rely on those guys to shoot this, but it's not reliable at all, whereas this is super reliable and consistent.
Now find that dock. You don't want to miss the train.
And then we run to the left, avoid the exploding car, it can kill you, it has happened to me, and end the level. So now we have another on foot section. Exciting. here there is 2 ways to quickly get up. There is a box jump strategy. We can jump up here. And you can also, if you don't like that for whatever reason, you can do the ramp jump. And so I recommend quick saving here as you're getting comfortable with the game, because there is a useful thing out here, which is this Ultra Restore. What's cool about the Ultra Restore is it gives you 200 armor. Armor gives you a lot of durability in this game, so that armor will be really helpful going forward. So at this point, we enter a sequence where we used to do the strategy called Kato Grenade Jump, which I'm still going to mention just to sort of make this tutorial complete. But one other thing I do want to mention is there is a variation on Kato Grenade Jump called Energy Grenade Jump. And in order to get Energy Grenade Jump, you have to go in here and activate this guy's AI. While he's moving, I'm going to go ahead and activate a cutscene that you have to activate to progress.
Always late. Okay, get inside the storehouse next to the depot. It leads out onto the street. I can give you directions from there.
Got it.
2 enemies spawn behind us. So the reason I did this, and again, this is a route that is not fastest currently, but I'm going to document it anyway because I found it and I was proud of it. So what you have to do is you have to go through this door, and in here there is an energy grenade. And this is the only place you can get it before energy grenade jump is useful. So if you're wondering where energy grenade jump is, this is where it is. Or the energy grenade launcher to be used later. But anyway, back to the normal speed run. If you're playing the fastest route, you would skip all of this. You wouldn't do any of this. You would just come back here, activate the cutscene, and then come back here and murder these 2 guys. Use a toe to hit 2 guys around the corner. 2 more guys down here. And then this ends this segment of the level.
That street should lead straight to the Mecca.
Unauthorized civilians must remain within doors until 8 a.m. under penalty of incarceration.
Swag note, if you enter cutscenes while jumping, you will slowly fall to the ground, and it is A+ every time.
Look for the tunnel out in front.
So an important note here, as I'm going through this run and gun section, is that if you are using the energy grenade jump or the Kato grenade jump, which are slower routes, you would be trying to maintain at least 150 armor for this portion of the level. So you would be quick saving and quick loading as needed to avoid taking too much damage. This guy here drops Kato grenade. No matter what route you're using, you want to pick that up. There's a bunch of guys around the corner. Switch to assault rifle to get this guy here. He has hurt. If you're trying to maintain health, this guy can be difficult. He will, I would say, around like 20-25% of the time, shoot a rocket that hits you. Once you take care of this guy, switch over to Kato grenade. We're going to explain an important property. Kato grenades go through fences and doors, and so you can use it to clear out those enemies ahead of time.
Hey, don't make me shoot you.
An important note, okay, so above here, you see that electric cable? We're about to run along that. The intended strat in this game is that you would go back here through this door.
Oh, pardon me.
And shoot this box, and that would de-electrify the cable. If you stand on the cable, it pretty much, when I say stand, I mean like staying still on the cable. It will kill you. But we don't actually need to worry about that for a few reasons. It is possible to jump on this roof from here. It's easier to jump onto this roof from up here if you're really having trouble with it, but if you're aiming to go fast, you want to do it from here. But I recommend quick saving through all steps of this. So now that we're up here, quick save again. There's a cutscene up here that we want to try to avoid. You can see this cutscene right here. So if I go into this, it shows us what I just explained. Like, it's an electric box. But we don't want to. We want to avoid that cutscene. So we just put ourselves right here, and jump across it, and then jump over. As you can see, I really didn't take that much damage at all. By hopping along it, you really do not take much damage. And then come through the apartment.
Sorry,
up
just
here.
passing through, lady.
So there's two ways to deactivate these. I think the quicker way is just to go under and miss every shot on the window. Coming down here, I have a swag strat where I use a rocket to take out these three guys. It's not necessary. Sometimes it misses. So now, just running and gunning for the remainder of this. There are two guys over here to the left. And so now we come up to an intended level skip. Once we go through this door, there's going to be a building where there is a woman who wants us to rescue her cat. So you can see that if we were playing it and we were innocent people, we would walk up.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And she would say,
fence?
"Hey,
As a matter of fact,
I'll
yes.
let
Could
you
you
through
turn
this
it off
gate
for me?
if you go rescue my
You
cat."
what? I'll turn off the electricity if you'll find my kitty. She ran off.
Your kitty.
She likes to hide in the building by the pumping station. She'll only come to you if you have her toy, so you'll have to find it first. It's probably somewhere in the building.
Yeah, so anyway, you can see there's a whole level here about finding this woman's lost cat. But we don't want to do that. We're just going to shoot her. Switch over. So this guy is a real good shot. He's a real good shot. He will, as you can see, he nicked me there with the shotgun. There's a real chance he could just kill you close range with a shotgun. But you want to come in here, bomb rush him, murder him, hit the button there, break this window, and then jump through.
Senora!
Yeah.
What's happening?
The CNC, they're all over the place.
Wait, do you mean this mission or the Lost Cat mission? Because the Lost Cat mission is also not great. I'm glad we skip it. Alright, so anyway, we made our way here. So if you go in here, this is where the intended method takes you. And you go in here and there's a cutscene and a fight and lots of stuff. But you know, I noticed this fence is real short. There's a few ways we can get over this fence. I'm gonna go ahead and just give myself some extra health. So let's say you were a good kid and you came in here with like over 180 armor, which is really what you want to be doing. You can come up here and you can pull out your energy grenade that you picked up using the slow method of going to get the energy grenade, and you can probably just hop over. Or no. See, I'm unpracticed at this now. Let me just make sure my FPS is set. Sometimes this game has an issue where it won't let you do this stuff if you can't get over. Have you ever encountered this skiller where you can't do some of these jumps reliably? Oh, there we go. I almost got I got over, but I'm dying. You never done the energy grenade jump? So this is like my original form of this trick. Usually if you have over 180 armor, you should be fine. But apparently I'm an idiot who can't do this in the middle of a tutorial. Oh, maybe that's okay. I think I need to jump before. Well, let me tell you folks, you don't need to worry about this anyway, because this is not the fastest way to do it. Yeah. Alright, well, let me discontinue embarrassing myself. He says. So if you don't, so there's another way to do this, which is using Kato grenade. And the setup for this is that you go to one of these ends and 1, 2, So what you do is, okay, so let me explain it before I do it, because I was trying to explain it and do it at the same time is clearly not going to work. So I'm going to stand here, save the game, and I'm going to shoot the Cater Grenade into the ground so that it bounces up 4 times. And then as it's nearing the 4th bounce, I'm going to anticipate it by jumping. Man. Well, the good news is that we'll be doing different strats. Wow. Uh-oh, okay. Wow, did you see the size of that boost? All right, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. If you couldn't tell, these jumps aren't as consistent as we'd like them to be. That was a sick amount of boost, though. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever seen an explosive boost do that much in this game. Anyway, the good news is that these strategies that require you to have over 180 health, 180 armor. Oh, you got a jump that launched you to the window. Damn. So these strategies that require you to have armor are now obsolete. That is the good news. Because what you can do is you can actually jump with the rocket launcher. And the way that we do this is it uses quick saving and quick loading. So get into position. You know, for example, I'm in this corner here. Make a quick save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire the rocket. And as soon as you hear the rocket explode, I quick load. And you can see there, it took me 2 tries, but on the second try, I got enough of a boost that I got onto the top of the fence. This is advantageous in a few ways. I don't take any damage, and I didn't actually use up the rocket. For whatever reason, when you quick load and the force of the explosion persists while the damage does not. So this is the method considered the fastest, because you don't have to do any of the setup of the Cater Grenade. You don't have to take the damage. You don't even have to spend a rocket. You just have to make a quick save, quick load, and get up here. Unfortunately, this doesn't give you much boost, so as cool as it would be to like get up here and go through a window or whatever, it doesn't work, so yeah, sorry. Anyway, I recommend just getting comfortable with the rocket launcher. In talking to the other currently active runner, Skiller, he has mentioned that his timing has been a little slower with the rocket jump. So my recommendation is that you experiment with when you have to quick load to get the most boost, but it should work for you.
Do you have a pass? No
And now we pretty much just get to walk to the end of the level. Alright, so now we're back on the mech. I like to pull out my rifle and blast these 2 trucks real quick. That truck in the back there will open the door, regardless of where it is. It doesn't even have to be next to the door. Here, there is another Samantha cutscene. So right here, you can see this green one. But again, as usual, you skip it. I usually jump right as I pass over this crosswalk. And then there's two approaches to get through here. You can see I took the right approach. You can also jump onto a building to the left here. So come around the corner, jump onto here, jump onto this corner, and then jump up again. I like the approach on the right, but the approach on the left is a good failsafe if you fall down.
Okay, look for Canopy Station and dock your MCA. You can catch a tram to Upper Maritropa. Don't be late this time.
All right, immediately turn right, jump up. This enemy on the right will fire rockets. I usually try to avoid taking too much damage here. Jump onto this ledge. You might notice that when you're in vehicle mode and you jump up onto anything that isn't like a 90-degree edge, to this edge right here. If you're in vehicle mode and you're hitting space, you'll kind of like crawl up onto it. You might have noticed I did that in the last level, and I just did it again here. And you need it to be able to get up here. So you're jumping onto that ledge and then using the sort of ledge creep to get up. Here there are some vehicles that you can get health from. I really recommend it because you can take a lot of damage right here. In fact, absolutely quick save right here. It's important. I mean, always quick save, but like really quick save. You need this corner, so face the corner, face your fear, and then jump up onto the road. Quick saving all along, and then the exit is right here. An important thing to note is that there is a risk of soft locking right here. If you die before the level ends, right there in that brief second, then it will be an issue for you. Yeah, Skiller says he has a different method for that jump. And I could have sworn you said it was facing the corner, which I have found to be more consistent. But do you know what it is? You go in a straight line and let the collision take you to the gap. I don't know if I can reproduce that right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Maybe I'll. If there'll be an update to this, I'll try and do that.
You shouldn't have any trouble.
Anyway, this next level is a cutscene, so enjoy, relax.
I'll contact you once you're inside.
I've heard about you, Rio. You're not a man to be trusted.
The press bends the truth to suit its own agenda. You should know that better than anyone. Leave it at that. Rio out.
It's so romantic.
Well, I don't know about that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Rio Ishikawa contacted me.
From Shogo?
Yeah, he's using me for something. Not quite sure what it is yet, but I'll figure it out.
Well, be careful. Oh, Sanjuro?
Yeah?
I just wanted to apologize for how I reacted when I heard Kuro was alive. I love my sister as much as you do. I'm just...
It's okay. I understand.
So this next portion will have another intended level skip.
The front desk is up ahead.
Ordinarily, there is a level called The Favor, which we would do as sort of an interlude in this level. But we're going to go ahead and skip that. So intended is that you would go left through this door.
Fine, thanks.
But instead, we're going to bust through the glass, hit the door to open the door on the right. And then as we walk through here, you need to kill someone to avoid a cutscene. So for example, if I don't kill anyone, I quick save. Yeah.
Do you think you can rescue Kura without
this
my
cutscene
help?
plays.
Go ahead and try.
Worthless bastard.
But we can skip that cutscene by just committing murder.
Do you think you can rescue Kura without my help? Go ahead and try.
Two guys come out behind me.
Goodbye.
We need to hit the switch here in this room. Drop down. And then take the elevator. Hit that switch. I usually wait for these two guys to come out. There's a guy on the right. Break the window. Take out these three guys. These guys will explode when you break the glass. I don't know why. Shoot a rocket past there to take out two guys around the corner. And then there's two more people up here. Hit the switch and then enter the cutscene.
Kura!
Hey, it's Kura. How about that?
It's good to see you again.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Why didn't anyone tell me you were alive?
They couldn't. I've been working undercover. My father assigned me to learn everything I could about the Fallen.
What about Gabriel? Where is he?
It's not so much where he is, but who he is and what he's fighting for. It's much bigger
Kura's
than you
alive.
could ever possibly
Don't beat the prisoners.
Save
Yeah.
the puppy love for later.
Don't hurt me, don't hurt
Assassins are
me.
on their way to the prison area.
Listen, the Admiral has issued orders to prep the Kato cannon. I think he's planning to wipe out Avernus against direct orders from UCA High Command. If Toshiro and Baku are really there, they're in danger.
What? Why the hell would he do that?
I'm not sure. He won't talk to me.
So when this cutscene ends, I usually switch over to Rocket, make a quick save, shoot right in this doorway. Alright, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in this level, like getting hilariously murdered there. Oh my god. Sorry, I should have just given myself health, but I was so annoyed. Cora can shoot you in the back, so that's one problem. And she can also miss this elevator. Ideally, she's gonna stick right next to you, so that's what you want. She gets a little warped by the elevator. Okay, important discussion time. There is a end-level cutscene skip here, the rescue attempt cutscene skip. And the way that we need to do that is to get Cora to lag behind us by a certain amount of space. And basically, that certain amount of space is sort of like more than X. So if she's like really far behind you, what we need to have happen is we need to be able to pass through a cutscene trigger with her not next to us. But then we enter an end level trigger, and then she catches up with us. The way that I create space between... Oh, well. The way I create space between us is that I'm gonna... She can't jump. Look at her. She look at these legs. She just can't jump. She can't do it. So I'm gonna jump over this flower bed and sort of, you know, pick and scrape her off.
You trying to ditch me?
She makes a comment when you do this. And then I usually check to make sure she's following. And she should still be following here. Oh boy. See, she can get stuck on anything. This is definitely one of the worst skips that we do. But it's really necessary. The cutscene's really long.
Don't kill me, don't kill me.
Where did she go? She's stuck on a door again? Or like in this corner? Oh, she's stuck on that corner again. Ah, she did this for the first time ever to me recently. All right, so now the problem is that she's next to me and I can't get rid of her. So again, she's behind me. So hopefully she doesn't get stuck this time. Yeah, so now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna walk through here and the level just ends. And we avoid, there's a cutscene there where you're supposed to pick who you like better, Cora or Catherine. And the answer is, we skipped that choice. Sorry.
So did you and Cora have a chance to catch up on old times?
This isn't the time, Catherine.
Just because I've sworn off violence doesn't mean I won't crack open your head, mister.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't make me come down there.
So now we're gonna have another run and gun level. This is a level where I feel like you could probably, if you're a runner, maybe have some personal preference on what to do. Oh yeah, no, this game makes you pick best girl. They wanted to be anime. They really did though.
I've been nurturing for years. It's taken me a long time to recover from the mess you made, and now you're trying to ruin me again. Who did you think tipped off the CMC about your little lovebird anyway?
I'd like to continue this conversation in person.
Goodbye.
So now this tram is gonna crash unless we get to the front.
Oh my god, we're gonna crash.
There are two guys here. I usually go this way. A guy comes through the door at the same time as someone comes down the stairs. So right here, you can pretty much choose whether you want to go up and then forward or keep going forward down here. I usually just keep going forward out of habit at this point. There'll be two people at the other end of the car. Guy, annoying. No, okay, so right here, I recommend quick saving. There are two people right hiding on the other side of this door. Two guys come through. One guy in here. I usually, at this point, so you do eventually need to go upstairs. You can either go upstairs back there, or you can go upstairs here. And then in this next car, there are three guys at the end. And that's pretty much the end of the level. This goes down, you need to go forward to activate the end level cut trigger. Yes, I did discuss the reload mechanic back in, what level was it? It was the familiar voice level. But yes, if you missed that part and you're jumping around, you can't reload in this game using any sort of reload button. The only way you can reload is either to use the whole clip of ammunition, so just reload, or you can switch weapons, and that also reloads. So here, there's a few interesting things about this. This door is a door of like many doors. If you really hate Samantha for some reason, and you're finding this is giving you trouble, you can just shoot her through the door, but it takes a lot of shots. Oh yeah, definitely. So that now I killed her. The cutscene's still gonna activate.
Well, hello.
She's dead.
I got the advantage this time.
But there's a few other ways. One way that I have not quite yet perfected, you may remember I said you can actually fire during cutscenes if you gain control. So what you can do is you can enter the cutscene, immediately pause back out, and then as soon as you see her, and you can do it that way, so you can get a shot off. That's probably the most optimal way. You can also just shoot her with the rifle if you're annoyed by it.
Hello. Looks like I got the advantage this time.
So that's several ways to approach that fight. If you're doing all the speedrun skips correctly, you're definitely going to avoid her. So now we can switch over. Yeah, if you don't crit with the rocket launcher, it would probably take additional shots after the second rocket. What's up, Archie? Is the optimal one to actually use a machine gun, the Uzi, and shoot her in the cutscene? Well, I think it basically depends on how much you crit. So...
Well, hello. Looks like I got the advantage this
Oh, wait, I didn't do it right. Wait a second. No, wait, no.
Well,
I did it.
hello. Well, hello.
Yeah, I mean, it basically depends on whether or not you got crits in. So, yeah, it doesn't skip the cutscene. It still plays out the whole cutscene. So now we have a short run gun sequence where we just have a few dudes on our way to the next cutscene. Guy at the top of the stairs. Cutscene. You can use a K8 grenade to kill almost everyone in this room through the glass, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you go faster. Guy in this room.
Hank's dead.
I'm sorry, Sanjura.
Rio's gonna die, and it's gonna be bloody. So what now? You have any ideas?
Get to the airship dock. I can help you reroute the nav computer once
And now we have to backtrack to the beginning of the level again. There is one little bit of tech we can use to shorten it. When you come around this corner, shoot the floor, and you can just come through here. Saves a few steps. And then use this MCA again. Okay, cool. So now we have an interesting level. This is sort of a boss fight level. What you want to do is you want to creep forward. There is a activation here for Uziel's like intro cutscene, but we can actually shoot Uziel before that cutscene begins. And so what we want to do is stack his entrance and exit cutscenes as closely together as possible. So I open up the Juggernaut, I take a shot, and then I try to take 2 to 3 shots. If I get a lot of crits on my first shots,
please, Baku, I need to talk to Gabriel.
That's useful. Sometimes he does damage to himself in the cutscene like this, and then he'll activate his exit cutscene in like immediately subsequent to his entrance cutscene, which is what you want. You want to avoid any extra time between those cutscenes as much as possible. And then go to the elevator, and our exit is over here against this ship, so just get over there.
Toshiro, you're in danger.
But yeah, the time save there is getting through those cutscenes as quickly as possible by stacking them on top of each other as much as possible.
Very well. I will meet you in the History of Warfare Museum in Avernus. A fitting location, don't you think? You'll be granted safe passage so long as you do not attack my soldiers.
Catherine, did you copy that?
Loud and clear. I'll try to delay my father.
There's something up with Shogo. They're a part of this somehow. Do me a favor. Look at Shogo's most recent ship movements in this quadrant.
What are you thinking?
I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I get the information.
All right, now we have another pretty straightforward run and gun level.
Navigational computer in the forward cabin. Watch out for security personnel.
Right.
You can notice as I'm doing these, quick saving all throughout. There really isn't anything special about this level. This is a pretty pure run and gun level.
Commander will discuss your insubordination later.
You could probably jump up there to get to the cutscene first. I just like to make sure those guys are dead, just to avoid the risk of them killing you after the cutscene, which is pretty low. But again, if you are dead going into a cutscene or going into an end level trigger after a cutscene plays,
He's being influenced by
it will soft lock the game 100%.
Ryo Ishikawa has provided irrefutable evidence.
Ryo Ishikawa? He's a murderer and a traitor.
But this is one of the longer cutscenes too.
Has been a valuable ally to the UCA for over a decade.
Why don't you ask yourself what's in it for him? Why is he helping you? If you defy high command...
Those fools don't understand the situation here.
If you defy high command, the UCA will be thrown into chaos and the Fallen will be out of the way. The CMC is already in tatters. Shogo will inherit Cronus.
Sandra is trying to explain the plot of this video game, and let me tell you, there's no tutorial that can save that. Actually, there is a fair amount of information out there in terms of like design documents for the background lore of the game, but it's very silly. Da, 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 da. Great. Oh, actually, wait. I shouldn't play that song. Y'all ever try to do a tutorial and the game just crashes? Where's my quick load? Yeah, alright, this is fine.
I'm in the forward cabin.
Okay, I'm uploading an override code to your comlink. Feed it into the main computer.
Commander will discuss your insubordination later.
So that's an exciting example of playing Shogo, and sometimes the game crashes. That's how it be.
The Kato cannon is charging and will be ready to fire within 2 hours. I will not delay the attack for any reason.
What about Toshiro?
He is a traitor to the UCA.
He's being influenced by Cothiniel. It's not his fault.
Ryo Ishikawa has provided irrefutable evidence.
But at least in the next level, I'm going to get to explain something that's really fun, which is the lava skip. Lava skip is something that was initially super frustrating for me.
Why don't you
but like now that I get it, it's really
Why
easy.
Is he helping you? If you defy high command...
You don't like lava skip? I think lava skip is really cool, like now that I understand it.
If you defy high command, the UCA will be thrown into chaos and the Fallen will be out of the way. The CMC is already in tatters.
You don't like it? Wow. Alright.
Nonsense. You're as ignorant as those idiots in high command. The Fallen are on the verge of victory. I can't stand by and let Kronos fall into the hands of murderous zealots.
Well, I can't stand by and let Toshiro die.
Okay. Oshii Research Station. Reminder: Mamoru Oshii is a famous director of anime
Is the
movies,
source of Kato. Now that must be what Rio's after. We've got to stop.
including several of the movies that this game references. All right, come around here. 1 murder, 2 murder. Jump around this, and then here, what we can do. You want a quick save here. So now what we're gonna do. Ordinarily, if you were playing this as intended, you would do a whole sequence where you'd go through some stuff and get into that room and press a switch that causes these panels to come up. But we don't need to do that. That's slow. So what we can do instead is we can use a ledge right there to jump onto here and then jump over to there. The important thing about this is that whatever you're standing on, you need to be holding down one of the WASD keys against that surface. So in order to get this first jump, I'm going to be hitting, W, jump, and I'm going to hold down A as I land there, jump again, and then hold down W as I face into the pipe. So now as you can see, if I let go of W, I immediately fall into the lava. Or what? Game. All right, apparently there are parts that you can stand up. So anyway, in order to curl around, what you want to do is you want to just curl around and then jump over, and you're good. Yeah, this game is super consistent, as you can tell. There's another way you can do this if you're having trouble with it, and you can't quite do it like that. What you can do is you can actually go. You can you go around, keep holding W, hit D to curl around it, and you can actually stand between. So I did know that you can stand between these two pipes and not hold anything. And then from here, you can make the jump pretty easy. So that's kind of my recommendation for when you're starting out, is just go between these two pipes and then jump over. You can still do that pretty quick. Note for the future, there is some potential tech here with using explosives to jump up here and over a cutscene trigger. We have not quite developed it fully yet, but maybe it will exist. We'll see. Still in progress. But we activate the cutscene with Core.
It's about time, Sanjuro. A Shogo invasion force is seizing the station.
I think they're after Cthiniel.
We've got to upload that data to the Leviathan and then wipe the system. That will delay them for a while, at least.
Let's bust some heads.
Watch my ass.
My pleasure.
You say the sweetest things. Let's go.
So first thing we're going to do is get ahead of her, because we want to activate a voice line before she can get close to us. There is a voice line up here that we need to hit.
Crap.
So when you hear that voice line where she says crap by jumping onto the table, that has enabled the next thing you need to do. Because if you wait for her now,
find that data disk.
So that voice line plays. If you wait for her now, where is she? Hello? Oh. Cora? Cora?
Come a little closer.
All right. She's supposed to follow you, and then when she, this has never happened before. When she gets closer to you, a cutscene would play here, and then you would go down. You have to hear that voice line in order to proceed. But anyway, once you do proceed, you jump down here and start doing pretty normal run and gun stuff. These two boxes have health and armor. They're useful. There's a few enemies that are particularly dangerous. This guy has a Kato grenade. This guy has a rocket launcher. He's very dangerous. Guy here has an energy grenade. He's pretty dangerous. But those are really the ones you gotta watch out for. Explosives are very deadly in this game.
I found the disc.
The thing that has happened to you, Skiller?
Near your position. Let me know when you get there.
So now we're almost done with this pretty long level.
Drop your weapon.
Drop down here. I usually try to back into this switch while I shoot this guy.
Okay,
And then
I'm at the
activate this cutscene.
Pop in the disc. It should auto-run.
Uploading now.
That's it. Now get to the museum. I'll get in
Yeah,
touch with
so
my
when you
father
exit
right
this door, there's a lot of
Be
people
careful.
trying to kill you from a lot of different directions. Absolutely quick save here. Always and forever. There are sometimes people up above that will shoot you. There's an energy grenade guy past here. There's also a shotgun guy who will almost always shoot you as you walk onto the elevator. So you gotta watch out for all of those. But then you just make your way back to the entrance.
All right, Commander. I'm willing to give you one last chance. Either you must incapacitate Gabriel, or I will destroy Avernus.
All right, so this level, pretty short and sweet.
You can save Toshiro.
The premise is that we are going to go meet with the leader of the Fallen, and so he has told us that you may approach. So we're going to approach. Make sure you don't hit any cars or hit any of the other mechs, because they will turn on you. But we will eventually make them turn on us, but only when we can exit the level. So if you're playing this as intended, back here is the trigger for the next level, which is the history of warfare museum, where you would choose whether or not to ally with Gabriel. But we're not going to do that. We're going to skip that whole level, and the way we do that is by immediately betraying Gabriel. So we want to, we're coming down here, driving, and as we get over here into this little alleyway, usually I just use the pulse rifle to either shoot him or shoot the car. And then this door will open and you can exit to the next level. Cool. All right, so this next part is pretty neat. There's a lot of routing going on for this level, or at least for Shogo, there's a lot of routing. I'm gonna show you two ways to do this. I'm gonna do it the kind of old way, and I'm gonna show one of the new rocket jumps, which hopefully should be pretty cool. So first off, let's do kind of the normal way. You want to do a lot of quick saving here, because you can and will fall to your death. So, and a note about the property of these air vents is that if you just sort of like roll over them, or just sort of fall into them, they give you like a little bit of boost. But if you go up to them and like jump off of them, like so you go up and jump over them, they give you a really big boost to the point you actually take falling damage. This one is the most important one, because normally what you're supposed to do is get onto this ledge and then you follow it around to another series of buildings, but we can get onto the center here, and so that's going to allow us to skip a portion of the level. So instead of going over to that building and that building and I don't know, a bunch of stuff, we basically just go straight to the end and we skip a few buildings. And that's that. Okay, so cool, right? But we're working on some methods of using rocket jumps. With the mech, we use the bull gut to do rocket jumps, and we can do the same sort of rocket jump that we do on foot. You can also, if you have enough armor and life, you can just take the rocket damage, but it's risky, because you're in the middle of everything. So for this one was found by Skiller. What you want to do is you want to go down to the third one of these arches. Go up, save. All right, that's that way. Load. There you go. Okay, so jump up onto the arch. Again, the same method as we discussed before. And then jump onto this corner. Definitely quick save once you get up onto that arch. And then we're gonna go all the way around here to curl around to the building. Yeah, this is definitely a cool method. And this rocket jump is fairly reliable. Since I've been practicing it, I don't think it's really too bad. And you might remember this before. We're back here already. Yeah, so that's basically, we just skipped a few sections there. And then we do the level as you saw before. Now, one thing I do want to note is that, one thing I do want to note is that Now, there is a rocket jump that is technically possible, but extremely unlikely. I want to share. When you get up that elevator, so remember, we enter on this road, we come down here, we get into that elevator, come up there. There's a building below here that you can rocket jump off of. I've seen footage of it. I haven't been able to reproduce it myself. But if you're out there and you're a rocket jump scientist in Shogo and you can find a way to make it consistent, then that would probably be the most optimal thing. But at this time, I think the rocket jump that I showed you. Have I stayed noited? What it is? I don't know if I know what noited means. Is this a reference to something? Okay. So anyway, that's the end of that level.
So where's this fortress?
You're getting close. You'll know it when you see it.
Okay, so now come around here, grab this armor. With this level, there's two ways. Again, I'm going to show the conventional way, which is currently the way that I use. There's an alternative route that I will show in a second. Shoot this guy because you want this weapon. This is the Red Riot. This is the most destructive weapon in the game. Oh my, what? I'm bad at this jump, but you can just come up here and jump like that. It's really not as hard as I make it seem. Yeah, so the problem with the alternate route is that, as Skiller has said in chat, it's not really that much faster, and also it doesn't get you Red Riot. But then we go down in here. So okay, so you're saying, well, wait, well, what's the alternate route? What is this about? So what you can do is you can jump up. There's a few ways to do this. One is that you can actually use rockets to like jump up a slope. Another way is that you can come up to here, and you got to make a jump up to here. This jump is like super inconsistent, which is one of the reasons that we don't do it. An alternate way, of course, is to make a quick save and then yeah, as you can see, this is not faster and inconsistent as well. There is a man. I thought it'd be easier to show this off. Yeah, I'm not getting the jump I want. That's funny. Right, so once you get up here, you're then able to do another rocket jump to get up, and then you can jump across and get to the end of the level that way. But because it doesn't get you Red Riot, and also because it is somewhat inconsistent to make the jump onto the slope, it is not something that we currently use. But yeah, you'd be able to come around here and then jump through to... Oh, there we go. Boink. Uh-oh. Or you get stuck. See, this is another reason not to do this. All right, I didn't know that you could actually get stuck there. But yeah, just to... Because I know there's a YouTube video out there from like 2013 of someone doing this route. And we know about it, but it is not necessarily better. Might just kill that guy to get his Red Riot. Boink. And so yeah, but recommendation is that you use the normal route to get the Red Riot. It's also just safer and more consistent. And if you can figure out a way to make that other way faster, it would be super swag, but it does not seem to be the case at the moment. Okay, so use a laser cannon to shoot that guy because he's right in your face at the top of the elevator, and then come through here and get into this corner, pull out your Red Riot, make a quick save. So my preferred way for doing this gate here, there's 5 enemies, 4 of whom I'm certain have Red Riots and will hurt you. And so what you want to do is you want to start a pre-fire, hit this place on the ramp, and then hide, because they'll all shoot Red Riots at you. And then go through. Some of them might live, in which case you're probably dead.
I think I found it. I think I found it.
Can you get inside?
I can try.
Right. So ideally, if you hit the top of the ramp, you can kill everybody, and you can just sort of waltz through, jump over these enemies,
It leads to the temple.
and there you go.
Shogo scrambled 2 squadrons of Akari fighters. They're attacking the Leviathan. We can handle them. Just get to Gabriel.
It is also possible.
I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Let me just do a load on the quick save real quick. So it is also possible here, if you really want to take the risk, to go up this ramp and then just jump up above and then jump down. But you're definitely going to get shot going up there. So I would say it's not worth it, but again, it is out there. The other problem also is it doesn't activate that opening the door. Or did I just bug the game? Oh no, okay.
Shogo scrambled
The door closes. Ignore me. It's fine. Don't worry about the door.
We can handle them. Just
Yeah, so that last part was just for we know. Again, I recommend shooting the bottom or the top of the ramp with the Red Riot. Try to kill everyone. You want to bait out the initial launch of Red Riots. If you really want to push for it, you can try and shoot it and jump forward and hope all the Red Riot shots land behind you, but that's very risky. You're probably going to die. I think for where we are right now, baiting and hiding is probably more consistent.
I'm getting close.
This is a place where I usually pause and unpause so I can pull out the rocket launcher.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Catherine, I really need to concentrate right now.
Fine. Get yourself killed. See if I care.
This time we end it.
You are an angry, angry man.
Shoot the ground with the rocket, it kills him. Simple.
Sanjuro, Shogo dropships are approaching from the southeast. It's a trap.
All right, time finally for all the bullgut ammo that we have been saving. So this is the final boss level. There are 2 bosses.
We'll see.
And what you need to do here is, yeah. So as Skiller mentions here, you can see in chat that if you're able to hit the eye with the sniper rifle at the exact right time, you can use the Red Riot to kill Gabriel in 1 hit. But it is not consistent. So the consistent method is that you pull open the sniper rifle, hit the eye when it's wide, and then switch over. Obviously, I messed up there by hitting 6 again. You want it, so 5 and 6 are the default buttons. Ideally, you get crits there. See, normally it's a 2 cycle. Since I messed up the first cycle and didn't get many crits. And now what we're gonna do is immediately just start wailing on this door. Because the final enemies in the game have already spawned on the other side of this door. And so the explosions go through the door and hit them, and then time ends when the cutscene starts. So there you go. It's Shogo, Mobile Armor Division. Hopefully I've been able to explain things, show off a few tricks that are not currently in the route, but good to know about. And if you don't have enough bullgut ammo, you should have picked up a Red Riot in the threshold at the top of the ramp in Hidden Fortress, which was the previous mech level. So you can use the Red Riot to also deal out that damage. But bullgut is very, very nice just because it really does work. So yeah, that is the live tutorial on Shogo. I'm sure this isn't perfect, but hopefully it will be of use. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at PMC Trilogy. My Twitter handles in the video. I'm very responsive on Twitter.
How about that red claw?
Also,
Karma?
thank you to Skillertear, who has been in chat, who has also helped a lot with running and tech in this game. So